Welcome, horror fans. Today we're diving into the spine-chilling world of 1985 to uncover the top 10 horror movies that will haunt your dreams. From bloodthirsty vampires to flesh-hungry zombies, 1985 was a year that truly painted the silver screen red. So grab your popcorn and turn off the lights, because we're about to embark on a terrifying journey through the best horror movies of 1985. First up is Fright Night, a movie that masterfully blends horror and comedy with a dash of teenage angst. It's the story of Charlie Brewster, your average horror-obsessed teenager who discovers his next-door neighbor is a real-life vampire. Oh, and did I mention that nobody believes him? This movie has it all: creepy crucifixes, holy water balloon fights, and enough garlic to ward off a whole coven of vampires. But the real star of the show is Jerry Dandridge, played by the deliciously devilish Chris Sarandon. With his slicked-back hair, piercing gaze, and seductive charm, Dandridge is one vampire you wouldn't mind sinking your teeth into, figuratively speaking, of course. Fright Night isn't just about jump scares and gore, though it certainly has its fair share. It's a story about friendship, facing your fears, and the struggle to convince your mom that, yes, the strange guy next door really is a blood-sucking fiend. It's a horror movie that doesn't take itself too seriously, making it the perfect choice for a spooky movie night with friends. Just be sure to keep a wooden stake handy, just in case. Now let's talk about a movie that's not for the faint of heart or weak of stomach. We're diving deep into the world of gore and dark humor with Re-Animator. Trust me, you'll never look at a medical student the same way again. Re-Animator tells the story of Herbert West, a brilliant but slightly unhinged medical student who discovers a glowing green serum that can bring the dead back to life. The movie is a wild ride from start to finish, with enough blood, guts, and reanimated body parts to make even the most hardened horror fans squirm. It's a darkly funny satire of science gone wrong, with a healthy dose of social commentary thrown in for good measure. So, if you're in the mood for a horror movie that's as hilarious as it is horrifying, then Re-Animator is the perfect choice. Next on our list, we're heading underground into a zombie apocalypse with Day of the Dead. This is George A. Romero, the godfather of zombie horror. A group of scientists and soldiers are holed up in an underground bunker, desperately searching for a cure. What sets this movie apart is its bleak atmosphere and unflinching look at society's collapse. These zombies are fast, furious, and hungry for human flesh. Tom Savini's makeup effects are some of the most gruesome ever. From Bub, the iconic zombie, to the gut-wrenching scene of a scientist being torn apart, Day of the Dead is a visual feast for horror fans. Just don't forget your survival kit, because in this world, it's kill or be eaten. Hold on to your seats, horror hounds, because we're about to enter a world where the line between fantasy and reality blurs, and the creatures of your nightmares come to life on the silver screen. That's right, we're talking about Demons, a movie that'll make you think twice about accepting free tickets from a creepy stranger. This Italian horror masterpiece takes place in a grand old movie theater where a group of unsuspecting moviegoers are about to get the ultimate horror experience. When a mysterious woman with a clawed glove scratches a young woman's face, all hell breaks loose, literally. What starts as a simple movie premiere quickly descends into a chaotic nightmare as the audience transforms into hideous, bloodthirsty demons. Demons is a relentless, in-your-face assault on the senses, with a pounding soundtrack and enough gore to make even the most jaded horror fans squirm. It's a wild, gory, and utterly unforgettable ride that'll leave you wondering just what lurks behind the silver screen. So, if you're looking for a movie that's equal parts terrifying and exhilarating, then grab your popcorn and brace yourself for Demons. We're trading in our chainsaws for silver bullets as we enter the shadowy world of werewolves with Silver Bullet. Based on the chilling novella Cycle of the Werewolf by the master of horror himself, Stephen King, this movie is a suspenseful thrill ride that will leave you howling at the moon. In a small town gripped by fear, a series of brutal murders has everyone on edge. But young Marty Kozlaw, confined to a wheelchair, suspects that something far more sinister is afoot. Armed with his wits, his silver bullet-shooting wheelchair, talk about cool, and the unwavering support of his Uncle Red, Marty sets out to stop the beast that terrorizes his town. But this ain't no ordinary werewolf, kids. This one's smart, cunning, and blends in with the townsfolk. Silver Bullet perfectly captures the fear and paranoia of a small town haunted by a predator in its midst. The movie keeps you guessing until the very end, with plenty of twists and turns to keep you on the edge of your seat. So, if you're ready for a suspenseful werewolf thriller that will have you howling at the moon, then grab your silver bullets and check out Silver Bullet. Get ready to crank up the volume and unleash your inner punk rocker because we're diving headfirst into the mosh pit of horror with the return of the living dead. This ain't your grandma's zombie flick, kids. This is a full-blown head-banging, brain-splattering good time. Forget everything you thought you knew about zombies. These undead party animals are faster, funnier, and hungrier than ever before. And they've got a taste for brains and a penchant for punk rock. When a group of punk rockers accidentally unleash a toxic gas that brings the dead back to life, it's a wild ride of chaos, gore, and unforgettable one-liners. The Return of the Living Dead is a wild, over-the-top horror comedy that doesn't hold back. It's a love letter to punk rock and zombie movies with a healthy dose of dark humor thrown in for good measure. So, if you're tired of the same old slow-moving zombies, then crank up the music and get ready for the Return of the Living Dead. Prepare to be mesmerized and terrified as we delve into the world of Cat's Eye, an anthology film that'll leave you sleeping with one eye open. This ain't your average horror flick, kids. It's 3 tales of terror for the price of one. From the mind of Stephen King, the master of horror himself, comes this chilling trio of stories, all connected by a mysterious stray cat who seems to have a knack for finding trouble. We've got a chain-smoking man forced to endure a gruesome and bizarre form of aversion therapy to quit his nasty habit. Then there's a gambler caught in a deadly game with a mob boss who has a peculiar way of dealing with cheaters. And finally, we have a young girl terrorized by a tiny but vicious creature that lurks in the shadows of her bedroom. Cat's Eye is a roller coaster ride of suspense, horror, and dark humor, with each story offering a unique and terrifying glimpse into the macabre. It's a must-see for fans of anthology films and anyone who loves a good scare. So, curl up on the couch, grab your favorite blanket, and prepare to be terrified by Cat's Eye. Hold on to your hats, horror hounds, because we're blasting off into the terrifying realm of sci-fi horror with Lifeforce. This ain't your average alien invasion flick, kids. This is a full-blown, erotic, and utterly bizarre trip to the stars. When a space shuttle mission discovers a mysterious alien spacecraft, they bring back 3 naked, comatose, and incredibly attractive humanoids. Sounds like a good time, right? Wrong. These extraterrestrial visitors have a thirst for something far more precious than water. They crave your life force. What follows is a wild ride of alien possession, psychic vampires, and a whole lot of nudity. Lifeforce is a visually stunning film, with impressive special effects for its time, and a haunting score that'll stay with you long after the credits roll. It's a unique blend of sci-fi, horror, and erotic thriller that'll leave you both terrified and strangely aroused. So if you're ready for a sci-fi horror flick that's as bizarre as it is beautiful, then strap yourself in for Lifeforce. Get ready to squirm and scream, horror fans, because we're entering the unsettling world of Phenomena, a film that'll make you think twice about swatting at a fly ever again. This is Dario Argento, the master of Italian horror, at his most stylish and disturbing. When a young Jennifer Connelly, with a psychic connection to insects, arrives at a secluded Swiss boarding school, she quickly realizes that something sinister is afoot. Girls are disappearing, gruesome murders are taking place, and a killer with a penchant for power tools is on the loose. Phenomena is a sensory overload of stunning visuals, a haunting score by Goblin, the masters of Italian horror soundtracks, and some seriously creepy crawlies. We're talking swarms of flies, razor-sharp blades, and a particularly memorable scene involving a maggot-infested corpse. But beyond the gore and insects, Phenomena is a story about a young girl discovering her own strength and confronting the darkness within herself and the world around her. So if you're ready for a visually stunning and utterly unforgettable horror experience, then grab your fly swatter and enter the world of Phenomena. Freddy Krueger is back in a nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge. This time his target is Jesse Walsh, a teenager facing his demons in his dreams. 5 years after the first film, a new family moves into the infamous Elm Street house. Jesse's nightmares bring Freddy into the real world with terrifying consequences. The film delves into Freddy's twisted world, exploring repressed fears and dark humor. Ready for more terrifying dreamscapes? Watch A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge. There you have it, folks. The top 10 horror movies of 1985 that are sure to keep you up at night. From bloodthirsty vampires to flesh-hungry zombies, from creepy crawlies to dream-stalking boogeymen, 1985 was a banner year for horror. So the next time you're in the mood for a good scare, revisit these classic films and relive the terror. Which one is your favorite? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more terrifying content.